At T-Mobile, our critical mission is providing unparalleled 5G coverage for when connectivity is mission critical. Introducing T-Priority, America's best 5G network experience for first responders, even in times of congestion. More capacity, faster speeds, better coverage. T-Priority from T-Mobile, built for tomorrow's emergencies, ready today. Discover more at t-priority.com.
For qualifying organizations on eligible rate plans, coverage not available in some areas and may be impacted by emergencies.
This episode is brought to you by Prime Video. In the small town of Holland, Michigan, nothing is ever what it seems. Behind the tulip festivals and pretty houses lay dark secrets that threaten to tear a marriage apart. Nicole Kidman stars in this darkly twisted thriller about a wife and mother whose quest to uncover her husband's secrets may get her more than she bargained for. Holland, streaming on Prime Video March 27th.
Are your ulcerative colitis symptoms proving difficult to manage? Tremfya guselkumab can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. At 1 year, many patients taking Tremfya achieved clinical remission, and some patients also achieved endoscopic remission. Individual results may vary. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and TB. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Ask your doctor if Tremfya can help you manage the cycle of UC symptoms. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Hi! Greetings and salutations.
Hello, welcome to a brand new episode
of See You Next Tuesday. And then I couldn't even say Tuesday.
It's okay. Sometimes words are hard.
Almond bits in my mouth.
Nothing gets my tongue tied like an almond bit. Mm-hmm. Because sometimes it's sticky and then your gums are stuck together, or then other times it's just
greedy.
There's a nodule and it's stuck in your tooth and then you can't focus.
I'm going right now.
So I have a permanent version of that right now because I did get a filling redone. And it is uneven and I need to go shave more of it down. Mm-hmm. But I unfortunately have...
Don't you grind your teeth?
Yes.
So it'll probably come down anyway.
It's too much. Still. She also wants me to really stop grinding my teeth. So I was like, it'll be fine. I'll always leave them like this. And she was like, no. Yeah, I have to get a...
retainer.
Yeah. But she was like, she literally was sanding down one of my bottom teeth to try and make it fit better because she's like, your teeth are just they're so fucking jagged. Mm-hmm. And I found out that the reason why, so my front teeth, I forget what they call them, but when you're a little kid, your front teeth have those ridges, they look like ruffles on the bottom of them. Mm-hmm. And they, as you get older, you lose them.
Yeah, because you're grinding your teeth.
Mine never went down. And so I had to have my dentist shave them down as an adult because I said, why do I have these giant child's teeth? And it is because my top teeth are angled in such a way that they're not touching much to get ground down in that way. But I can feel it in my tooth where I'm doesn't align right now, but that's my story. So we are going to read the results of last week's episode of But Am I Wrong? And your thoughts and feelings about all of them. So... shall we dive in?
Before we get into that, I want to share some thoughts that people had on Spotify.
Do you think I should sell my piss?
No. We've already... Megan, why are we repeating conversations?
Well, we were talking about the recession, and I wondered if your views had changed. Okay. It's just good to just do a temperature check.
Why did you think that my thoughts had changed?
It's always good to ask questions.
Okay. All right. Well, here's some thoughts from Spotify. Just remember that you can leave episode-specific thoughts there. Someone said, Megan, this entire look... Well, I'll say your name because it's public. Aurelia? A-U-R-A-U-R-E-L-I-A. Aurelia May. Megan, this entire look is a slay.
What was I wearing?
I think that was your... Nope, it wasn't the librarian look. Was it? I don't know.
We'll have to look back at it because I've not been feeling like I've been slaying lately. So if I was slaying, it's good to know.
Great. And then Tori Heck said, sorry for spelling your name wrong, Melissa. And you spelled it wrong here, so you're forgiven.
Wait, they spelled it wrong again?
No. They spelled it right here. Sorry. You spelled it right here, so you're forgiven. All right. So let's get into the thoughts and feelings from this episode.
Do you know how tired I was yesterday? I put it on my main page at first.
Yeah. I've made mistakes like that before.
I said, oopsie.
At least it wasn't on your burner account. Not that anybody would see it because it's a lockdown.
You'd
right?
see it.
I'd see it, yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. I think I've done that once. This is for episode 135, and you are up first.
Melissa wants to bring back journalists on red carpet. And then you did an X out of her partner in crime?
No, that's the baby face.
Oh, okay. Except don't bring this one. 5% said I was wrong. 95% said I was not wrong. I need to ask you after we're done about some trades to do. All right. Somebody says...
Trades?
Yeah, Monopoly.
Oh, I thought you meant like turning trades.
No.
Like sex work.
Mm-mm.
And I was like...
You went there instead of like the trades for our industry?
Yeah. I did.
That word does have a lot of meanings.
No, it really does. Now that I think about it.
And none of them are related.
No, and I don't think I realized that for me, turning, like, trade, immediately I go, turning trade. Maybe that's just where I'm at in my life right now. Because I've been talking about selling piss.
Yeah. All right. Someone said, oh, your thoughts don't matter.
Stop.
Someone said, no, I'm just saying, they said they clicked wrong, so it doesn't matter.
No, but just the way you said that was fucking hilarious. Nope, your thoughts don't matter.
Someone said, my exception is Drew because I love double standards for my own people. I agree. I just missed her.
I'm a huge believer in double standards for my own personal taste and preference.
Yeah.
Because we have good taste and good preference.
Yeah, I gave a precursor when I did it to people that I said it was okay with.
I'm also okay with Teffy.
Yeah, I said Teffy when I did mine. Someone else said, I can't believe she said this and then doubled down on it. Does she have no shame? Megan deserved better. Agree.
Yeah. She also apparently did the same thing when they got a new cast member, Sierra, who's a black woman, on Summer House. And she was like, oh, girl, you're going to make me like pull out my Brooklyn, and like implying that. And Sierra's from like the South.
Weirdo.
And it was like, Hannah, you're from Brooklyn. If anything, you're making other people bring their Brooklyn.
Right.
And also, I'm like, you're a different kind of... You played tennis competitively. Like, okay. I don't think it's the same Brooklyn that... I don't think you were on the same block that J-Lo was running. That was the Bronx.
Right.
Just in case anyone thought I didn't know. But here in this house, we do defend J-Lo.
There are many ways to entice a potential new customer with flashy branding and calculated marketing strategies. But at the end of the day, the success of a business comes down to the ability to close the sale. And for businesses like Thrive Cosmetics, Allbirds, or Skims, it's what goes on behind the scenes, making selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple that makes the difference. For them and for millions of businesses, that difference is made with Shopify. Businesses that want to grow with Shopify. Because if your goal is growth, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling. And Shopify will make sure you're ready. On the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Nobody does selling better than Shopify. And with Shop Pay, they boost conversions up to 50%, meaning way less carts going abandoned and way more sales going. It's no wonder Shopify is home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout Allbirds uses. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. That's shopify.com/realm. When life gets hectic, one of the first things that goes out the window for me is making sure I'm eating well. Deciding what to make for dinner night after night, especially on those busy weekdays, can just take a little bit out of me. I actually had a day like that recently where I was planning on just ordering takeout because I had decision fatigue on top of regular fatigue. And I'm so glad I didn't, because it ended up being the same day that my HelloFresh box arrived. I usually get HelloFresh's 15-minute meals because I love how quickly the meals come together, and I made this sausage and tortellini soup with garlic bread. It was so filling and just perfect for a cozy winter eve. And now I have a recipe for a simple and delicious meal that I know I can make quickly and in one pot, and I love being able to reuse these recipes that I get from HelloFresh. They also have new ready-made meals, so you can go from the fridge to your fork in just 3 minutes. It's the same high-quality ingredients and restaurant-quality flavor you expect from HelloFresh, just with none of the work. So I'm stoked to try those out on the days when I want to do even less in the kitchen.
Get up to 10 free meals and a free high-protein item for life at hellofresh.com/HelloFreshPodcast. 1 item per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only, varies by plan. That's up to 10 free HelloFresh meals. Just go to hellofresh.com/HelloFreshPodcast.
When I was younger, I would help my little sister do her makeup for dance competitions. And while I enjoyed spending that time with her, learning about the different techniques needed to achieve the look, there were pretty strict guidelines for the stage makeup, and not much room for self-expression. I was reminded of those moments recently when I was helping one of my best friends get ready for a party. As a trans woman who came out later in life, she didn't grow up playing with makeup like I had, and we had so much fun picking just the right purples and eye glitter to match her outfit for the evening. What made us both feel beautiful that night wasn't just about the makeup, but how we were committing to showing up as ourselves and encouraging each other to do the same. That's the commitment that Thrive Cosmetics also knows well, with over 10 years of celebrating the strength and beauty of women. And they don't just talk the talk. For every product purchased, Thrive Cosmetics donates products and funds to support important causes, including domestic abuse survivors, veterans, homelessness, and LGBTQ+ communities. I feel proud getting my favorite makeup products from them, knowing that it also positively impacts people and communities I care about. And they really do carry my favorite makeup products. One that I can't get enough of is the Liquid Lash Extensions Mascara. It's the best mascara I've ever used. It doesn't clump or smudge, and my eyelashes always look dramatically longer thanks to their flake-free tubing formula. Plus, like all of Thrive Cosmetics beauty products, it's certified 100% vegan, cruelty-free, and made with clean, skin-loving ingredients. So whether it's for yourself, a sister, a friend, celebrate the women in your life with Thrive Cosmetics, luxury beauty that gives back. Right now, you can get an exclusive 20% off your first order at thrivecosmetics.com/thrive. That's Thrive Cosmetics, CAUSEMETICS.com/thrive for 20% off your first order.
Another person said, I obviously agree, but Megan's point about you, as in you, but Megan's point about journalists can be racist too is a good point. Maybe let's not have any reality TV people interviewing people. Okay.
That's actually not a bad call. Like, because I'm thinking now, I'm like, well, what reality TV personality? I'm like, they should be. Yeah, maybe not.
Someone else said, okay, not wrong. However, I think there's opportunity to bring influencers of color, particularly those in the fashion space, to the red carpet as interviewers. But right now, the influencer to red carpet pipeline is clearly of a certain complexion lacking color. Yep.
Yeah. I do think that the fashion focus of it has been kind of removed for good reason, because
they were body shaming.
Yeah. And it also just becomes about it becomes about fashion for the women, but it never was that for the men. And so it just becomes a very uneven sort of thing. And it's, it's just a lot. So I think that the fashion is fun, but in general in Hollywood, I think should always be secondary, because it is adjacent to the fashion industry, but it's not fashion. There is fashion awards. There is that kind of stuff with people who can also be answering questions well. Sometimes people are just wearing the clothes that they put on their body because, and we've heard things of celebrities who are yeah, no, they won't, brands won't dress me unless I'm sample size.
Yep. Someone else said, Melissa's not wrong at all, but I don't think being a journalist would have stopped her from saying this. I think the argument is less influencer versus journalist. Instead, why companies keep hiring people who can't present without vetting them properly. But journalists do go through a vetting. That's the difference, is that there's a journalistic integrity. And so if you're already, there is just a different level that they would be going through.
Well, and it's also, for the vast majority, they work for the company. It's their job. It's not a one-off. Like, it's their job. They have something to report to. It's not that they won't just not get asked back the next time. Like, it's not a one-off. Yeah. And it's a career in that instance.
And then someone else said, Melissa's not wrong, but petition for Amelia Chicken Shop Girl to also be added to a list of exceptions. She isn't a journalist, but girl does her research.
She's a journalist.
She is. How Chicken Shop started was that she was writing a column.
Yeah.
And she also studied fashion in school as well, and communication. So she is part of the correct people that I would like there.
She's also not a host. She's right. It's her show.
Yeah,
she made the show. She created the show. She produces the show. Like, that's her whole thing. But no, she is a journalist.
Yep.
And I say this as someone who has done red carpet interviews. I am not a journalist, and they're not. When you're hiring people who don't have experience in this, you're looking for viral moments. You're looking for memes. You're looking for funny bits. You're not looking for like insightful interviews, but you can't do an insightful interview unless you know the people you're talking to. Like, the amount of fucking interviews I have done that are so bad, so surface level, because I'm like, they don't let me know who's coming, so I can't prep for you. So I haven't prepped for you. So this can't be personal. We can't have a funny hee hee ha ha moment because we can't connect like that because neither of us know why the fuck we're there.
Yep. And then someone else said, I would say that this is another example of people lacking self-awareness, but this is also so clearly the opposite. White bitches like this want black women to not only be the ones to hype them up and nurture/care for them, but also views us as aggressive and violent, aka making them want to fight. It's all around disgusting, and this is why we like to gatekeep shit. Yep. Then another person said, it's literally so embarrassing watching that. Like, what Megan Thee Stallion songs make you want to fight? All her songs, except Hiss, are about having fun. I'll add in mental health, too. All her songs, except Hiss, are about having fun and being a hot girl, doing hot shit. Spend his income on my outfit. I don't text quick, cause I ain't thirsty. These bitches mad, they want to hurt me. I messed up the last part, but I'm not a lyricist. The only song that would be acceptable is Never Play, which is a WWE SmackDown's theme song, but that's really it.
Yeah. I just don't believe she listens to her music.
I think she might listen, but just for the beat, and it's not actually listening to the songs.
Yeah, I think she has heard her. I think she's heard, and then that her association with black women is aggression.
Yep.
And therefore, for her, that's a totally logical thing to say.
Nope.
No. And also, I can't get over the fact of like just how the added layer of the domestic violence aspect of it, that I'm just like, that is something where if it was a different context and like a white woman saying something and then being like, or talking about like, I don't know, like you make a joke about like divorce or some, shitty dudes to like Angelina Jolie, like someone who's like publicly been, and then going like, yeah, let me cover, like, totally flubbing and forgetting that aspect of it. But, like, she had multiple acts of macroaggressions, and then, like, that person initially said, like, triple down on it. Like, there is no, like, oh, I was just excited and nervous. And by the way, this was a job. You can't just be like, so I was just excited and nervous, and then you're not ready for the job. Like, this isn't about you.
Someone said, obviously what she said was wrong and unprofessional, but we have to take the good and bad and the ugly with the influencer culture that we live in. Why? Why shouldn't we hold people to a professional standard?
Also, and then what do we benefit from? Do you know what I mean? Like, if it's a trade-off, what's the trade-off? Because this is supposed to be entertainment. And it's not entertaining, it's offensive.
I say raise your standards.
I don't know if it's like we should expect this with the influencer world that we're in, that like people are going to hire influencers, and when you're hiring influencers, they're not going to be, like you said, they're not going to be vetted in the same way. Or if it's like we take the good with the bad, because I'm like, I guess I don't know what the good is of this.
Right.
Este episodio es presentado por Honda. Descubra la nueva Honda Passport Trail Sport todoterreno. La Passport más todoterreno que Honda haya imaginado jamás. Esta Passport cuenta con mayor altura al suelo, barras de techo en todas sus versiones y neumáticas especialmente diseñados para cualquier terreno. Además, disfruta todos tus viajes con el control de clima de 3 zonas, techo panorámico y opciones como asientos delanteros con calefacción y ventilación. Conoce más en honda.com/Passport.
This podcast is supported by Progressive, a leader in RV insurance. RVs are for sharing adventures with family, friends, and even your pets. So if you bring your cats and dogs along for the ride, you'll want Progressive RV insurance. They protect your cats and dogs like family by offering up to $1,000 in optional coverage for vet bills in case of an RV accident, making it a great companion for the responsible pet owner who loves to travel. See Progressive's other benefits and more when you quote RV insurance at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Pet injury is an additional coverage and subject to policy terms.
Experience a Progressive lens engineered with AI from Essilor, powered by individual measurements of your visual behavior. A lens personalized to you by an Essilor expert. Discover Verilux XR Track and enjoy instantly sharp vision in motion and seamless transitions from near to far. Find your local Essilor expert today at Essilor.com.
Okay, then we have... Megan thinks you should only be allowed to be nominated for 1 Oscar. 29% said I was wrong. 71% said I was not wrong. I'll have to tell Mott's about this, because it's really his. Someone said, too many award shows, and you can win multiples of so many of them. It's like saying the same word too much. It loses meaning after a while. Also, give new talent a chance. Geez. I do think that part, too, because, like, industry-wise, there are certain ones that, like, people are like, this doesn't matter. Like, this isn't a real. It doesn't matter. This one doesn't count. But it's like, okay, but then you won that. Mm-hmm. And then, like, it's, there are, I think in the sense of, like, yeah, there's so many. So therefore, sweeping all of them or getting all of them except for missing one and then being upset about that one, unless it counts towards an EGOT.
It's not even like you get paid for it. And a lot of times it doesn't even help your career. Sometimes, most of the times, it's a curse.
If you're a woman?
Yeah.
Ooh, God forbid you see a little too much. That was, I would say, the downfall of both Jennifer Lawrence and Hathaway.
Yep.
Someone said, I agree with the 1 per category. It might be dull to watch Sean Baker win 3 in a night, but I don't think him getting editor award should have disqualified him from director.
Yeah.
I agree with that also because he's like one of the only ones who's going to be winning both of those because most directors aren't editing.
No. I edit and it's the bane of my existence. Yeah. And I don't edit everything. I only edit like I edit this because we have quick turns arounds and I don't want our editor working on this when they should be working on Don't Blame Me and But Am I Wrong?
But yeah, that's not, I think in general, if someone's going to win all categories for like in front of the camera and behind the camera stuff, like Sean Baker is one of the few people who would even be eligible for multiple. Someone said, yes, but only for the bitches I don't like / don't know. I'll combat you on the people you don't know, because I do think it's good when people win awards that we have no idea who they are, because, you know, it's not just popularity contest. But for bitches we don't like, without a doubt.
Then we've got writer number 1. Are they wrong for not letting their friend use their car for a driver's test? 4% said the writer is wrong. 96% said the writer is not wrong. Someone said, assert your boundaries. Another person said, why is this even a question? The writer is not wrong. Someone else said, I don't think this person is a friend. A friend doesn't keep asking after a reasonable explanation. Fair.
Good point.
Someone else said, it's crazy how people will ask for something as if they're giving you the option to volunteer up your possessions, then get mad at you when you draw a boundary and say no. If she has the money to use the school's car, then she might as well just go that route. I also let a friend borrow my car for a driver's test once, but mine didn't even pass the inspection to be used, so there's never a guarantee. If she waited this long to get her license, then she has found other ways to use a car and get around that wasn't depending on the writer, so she needs to put on her big girl draws and figure it out.
I feel the exact same way. Like, put on your thinking cap. If you've managed to make it this far in life, as someone who didn't get their driver's license until 19, You gotta be like, you have to be even more scrappy than me. Like, where did Scrappy Doo go? Find Scrappy Doo.
Someone else said, I had to borrow a car for my test because it required the e-brake to be in the middle and not a pedal. But if there was a way to pay to rent from the test facility, I would have done that instead.
Holy shit. There are cars where you have an emergency brake pedal. Like, that's so dangerous. Right?
I had my older car, like when I was first learning. Well, no, it was SUVs. The SUVs usually have that pedal up at the top. The ones that I had in the past. It might have been, it's changed since then. But like my Blazer that I had, the pedal was up there. Then the Suburban, maybe it's just a Chevy thing. The Suburban I would have from my mom's friend, that was up there.
Was it a lever or something you like you just move your foot?
No, you moved your foot.
To be the emergency brake?
Yeah, but it's up. Like, it's not like right by where the pedals are. It was up a little bit. So you literally had to like raise your foot up and do it. It wasn't right next to it.
Okay. Because I know that like I've seen them in like my family's old cars where it's like a lever somewhere on the other side. Like,
no, I know what you're talking about. The ones that you do this.
Yeah.
No, this is like on the left hand side. It was closer to where your knee is than where your foot is. And so you'd have to lift your foot up and put it down.
Wow. That's stressful.
It wasn't, though, because it's not, like, by anything.
I guess that's true. If it's really by where your knee is.
Yeah.
I'd have to kick one leg out of the car and put the other one back in to hit that.
But, again, you're in, like, SUVs, so, like, there's so much space.
Yeah, big cars.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I'm hungry.
I'm very hungry, and I think I actually need to order something because I don't think I have anything.
I'm trying to think of like what the hell I have to eat.
The writer also wrote in with an update. She failed her test.
Shocked.
She was on a 2-lane road and her instructor told her to continue straight. And she took that literally, even though the road was curving to the left. So she ended up going into the right lane without even checking her mirrors or turning signal, which is an instant fail. I feel so vindicated that I didn't lend her my car. Also, we're currently living in the Bay Area, but she's from the suburbs of DC. She doesn't have driving anxiety, but she has openly admitted to just using people for rides during high school and college. She's for sure currently using me to get rides every weekend. Wow.
Whoa. I need to know what location she tried to take the test in.
Oh, yeah. You've talked about how there's one that's like harder than the others.
The Marin
one
would drive. Is diabolical, and Josie passed there. And I think Josie passed on her first time, which I was like, that's insane. I think I've taken a test at every DMV in the Bay Area. And I even ventured into the East Bay. Like I was crossing all the bridges to like, where can I go? But that is like an annoying one for me because like the first time I failed, oh my God, I was so fucking annoyed because it was like a trick question, which they're not supposed to do. I took a big break after this because I was like traumatized. I think I must have been like 17 maybe on this one because I didn't get it until I was 19. They told me to like make a right turn and it said like no right on red. It was something like about like, you're not supposed to do this. And they were like, okay, now make a right turn. And I was like, I'm not supposed to. They're like, make a right turn. And then I was like, well, I'm not supposed to. And then they were like, make a right turn. I made a right turn. They're like, can't make a right turn. And I was like,
why did you tell me to do this?
Like 3 times. Like if it was a test, which again, you're not supposed to do like that. I do feel like I passed. Why did you insist? And then it like, I literally was like pulling out of the parking lot and then like just made a full loop right back. And I was like, okay.
Messed up.
So when they do tricks like that and you fail from something you actually do, that's to me, I'm like, okay, it's wild. Mountain View was easy to pass in, I think, when I was there. Was it Livermore? Vallejo was actually a little bit harder, but anyways, when Mons and I were driving through NorCal, I was just pointing out all the different places I had taken my driver's ed test. He was like, this is like 10 places. And I was like, yeah, that's not uncommon.
Support comes from ServiceNow. We're for people doing the creative work they actually want to do. That's why this ad was written and read by a real person and not AI. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business, IT, HR, and more, so your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Visit ServiceNow.com.
This episode is brought to you by Global X. Since 2008, Global X ETFs has been committed to empowering investors with unexplored, intelligent solutions. Global X specializes in exchange-traded funds that offer exposure to the artificial intelligence ecosystem, including themes like data centers, robotics, semiconductors, and cloud computing. To learn more about Global X's entire suite of ETFs, from covered calls, fixed income, emerging markets, and more, visit globalxetfs.com.
Halliday presents, in the red corner, the undisputed, undefeated Weed Whacker Guy. Champion of hurling grass and pollen everywhere. And in the blue corner, the challenger, extra strength Halliday. Eye drops that work all day to prevent the release of histamines that cause itchy allergy eyes. And the winner, by knockout, is Halliday. Halliday, bring it on.
Then we have my wrong of the week, Deputy Marvin Morales. 97% said that Morales is wrong. 3% said Morales is not wrong. Someone said, wait, his actual name is Morales? Because how ironic. New nickname to be No Morals Morales. Well, he doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
Also, it's the police.
They don't, morals is not something that they are familiar with, let alone interested in.
Yeah.
Nor do they value. And that's why I hope the guy who he worked with, like, gets out, because, like, fucking that's not a part of your job, and it's so fucking traumatizing.
But that guy had to know that he was using, because like, why would you just automatically give him Narcan?
And to me, that's not the first time it's happened.
No.
I'm like, it's just gonna get more and more traumatizing. Get out of this work. Like, don't do this job. This should not ever be a prerequisite of your job. And
probably
like,
he uses himself, to be honest.
The issue is that it's not that no one knows.
Mm-hmm.
And turning off the camera, like, yeah, it's just like, I also think you should be penalized as an employer for hiding someone's substance use when it is they're putting themselves or other people in harm's way, let alone like the community in harm's way. I just think it's like, it's not like a harmless thing whatsoever. And like, yeah, you shouldn't be letting, because if they're like, well, he says he's fine to work, like, he is not of right mind, like, he is not doing well. So as an employer, I think it is your responsibility and your job to be like, no, you can't do this.
That was it.
Okay. Then we have my wrong of the week, nominated Zachary's Daiquiris, or Zach's Dax. 97% said they're wrong. 3% said they're not wrong. And I did include a little picture of the dress code policy, which still to this day, for this location, does not say anything about Jordans. You're right. The pictures do look similar as I'm trying to scroll through. Someone said, I watched Southern Charm and Southern Hospitality. Leva was not really on either show this season. I liked her the first few seasons, but she really started to annoy me when she got her own show. I was not surprised by her responses at all. That's what I've seen online from people who have continued to watch the shows, that like, they're not surprised by this. But people were like, if you had told me that season 1 version of her said this, like, I would have been shocked. But like, it doesn't seem like people aren't here being like, this is so out of character for her at all. Someone said wrong, and not that it's needed to make it valid, but there is a phenomenon in legal scholarship called velvet rope discrimination that allows businesses to avoid discrimination lawsuits through vague subjective dress codes, gender-based pricing, etc. Yeah, I mean, she's been skating by with that at all of her other establishments. And yeah, this is like, people have been saying this about where she like all of her places for years. Oh, someone said, just want to say this episode of the podcast was very entertaining.
Thank you.
Thanks. I love a compliment. Someone else said, I just wish racist people would stop existing. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do I need to read it?
No. But it is just funny. So if Billie Eilish comes in dressed like a stud, are they going to tell her to leave too? Or is it only when black people do it?
Valid points are made.
It's a really good point. And that is it. Ooh.
And that was our episode of See You Next Tuesday. I hope you were entertained just like the writer was, or the reviewer was, the listener. Join us on Thursday for Don't Blame Me, Friday for Fisting Friday, Monday for But Am I Wrong? And then back here for another rousing episode of See You Next Tuesday.
Yay! And we will see.
Oh, I fucked up. Whoa.
That's fine. I love when you fuck up because it like makes it evens the count slightly, even though it's so important to me. We will
see you next Tuesday.
This is a Sister Sign production hosted by me, Megan Rinks.
And me, Melissa D. Montz, plus Diamond Imprint Productions.
Hello, I am Kristen Russo.
And I am Jenny Owen Youngs.
We are the hosts of Buffering the Vampire Slayer once more with Spoilers, a rewatch podcast covering all 144 episodes of, you guessed it, Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
We are here to humbly invite you to join us for our 5th Buffy prom, which, if you can believe it, we are hosting at the actual Sunnydale High School. That's right. On April 4th and 5th, we will be descending upon the campus of Torrance High School, which was the filming location for Buffy's Sunnydale High, to dance the night away to 90s music in the iconic courtyard, to sip on punch right next to the Sunnydale High fountain, and to nerd out together in our prom best inside of the set of Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
All information and tickets can be found at bufferingcast.com/prom. Come join us.
Contained herein are the heresies of Radolf Buntwine, erstwhile monk turned traveling medical investigator. Join me as I study the secrets of the divine plagues and uncover the blasphemous truth that ours is not a loving God, and we are not its favored children. The heresies of Radolf Buntwine, wherever podcasts are available.
I'm Amy Nicholson, the film critic for the LA Times.
And I'm Paul Scheer, an actor, writer, and director. You might know me from The League, Veep, or my non-eligible for Academy Award role in Twisters.
We love movies, and we come at them from different perspectives.
Yeah, like Amy thinks that, Joe Pesci was miscast in Goodfellas, and I don't.
He's too old. Let's not forget that Paul thinks that Dune 2 is overrated.
It is.
Anyway, despite this, we come together to host Unspooled, a podcast where we talk about good movies, critical hits,
fan favorites, must-sees, and in case you missed them.
We're talking Parasite to Home Alone.
From Grease to The Dark Knight.
We've done deep dives on popcorn flicks. We've talked about why Independence Day deserves a second look.
And we've talked about horror movies, some that you've never even heard of, like Ganja and Hess.
So if you love movies like we do, come along on our cinematic adventure.
Listen to Unspooled wherever you get your podcasts.
And don't forget to hit the follow button.